What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the best shoes for wide feet in 2024. I already uploaded a video like this earlier in the year, but now it's time for an updated list as there were actually quite a few releases that are solid for wide feet, even from Nike, even though they're usually really narrow. That's also the pairs we're going to start it off with, as my first pair is the Nike Sabrina 2. They are surprisingly wide in the toe box and in the midfoot, and why I say surprisingly is because the Sabrina 1 were extremely narrow, especially in the midfoot, which was hard for me because my right midfoot is extremely wide and it was very painful to play in them, even though I like the performance a lot. So I didn't actually really have high hopes for the Sabrina 2. For performance, yes. For the fit, no. And when I got them in hand, I'd already seen a few reviews saying that they were actually way wider, and I still couldn't really believe it because I thought this part right here is probably still going to dig into my midfoot. Turns out the part is actually very soft, as you can see, and it breaks in very nicely and it doesn't pinch into my midfoot, and I actually really enjoy the shoe. The performance is also very solid. I have a performance review of them. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you check it out and leave a comment and a follow on my channel. Traction performance is very good. Great on dust as well, didn't have any issues. The cushioning is what lacks a little bit in my opinion. I need shoes that have a little bit more either in the heel or in the forefoot, preferably in the heel, as I have some Achilles pain sometimes and they are just very low to the ground. I still like playing with them a lot. That's like the only downside I have with them. The materials are very nice and comfortable. Support is also decent, not the best, not the worst. Better than the cushioning in my opinion, but you could upgrade them with a custom insole, for example. But overall, a really solid shoe and also great for wide feet. The next pair is actually also going to be from Nike, and it's going to be the Nike KD17. This one is probably the most surprising because the KD line, if you've ever played in KDs, they are very narrow, and if you've seen KD's feet, you'll know why. He has extremely narrow and long feet, so naturally his signature shoe is going to be for narrow-footed people. That's why the KD17 is such a big surprise to be on this list, as they are extremely wide foot friendly. You can see the midfoot area and the toe box are very wide and extremely comfortable if you have wide feet. The shoe itself is also very comfortable. I was a big fan of the 16s already, which were also decent for wide feet, but not as good as these. I did like the performance of the 16s a bit more. Traction performance is pretty much the same. It's still very good, even though they've changed the traction pattern. The cushioning setup is what changed, which I don't like. Essentially, the setup stayed the same, just from a tech standpoint, but they added a top-loaded shank plate here in the forefoot, and that makes the forefoot a little more stiff. You can feel the zoom unit in there as much. The heel is still very comfortable. Support is also good. Of course, the shank plate helps with that. And the materials are also very comfortable. Similar to the 16s, they don't really need any break-in time. And they're actually getting better every time I'm wearing them. So the more I wear them, the more I like them. Also, the fit just gets more accommodating with each wear, even though they're already pretty wide right out of the box. Another pair that I'm using quite a bit, you'll probably know about that if you're following me on my other socials. If you don't, make sure to do so, is the Nike Book 1. They're probably my favorite shoe right now. This is the Python colorway. I got all these shoes from Kicks, by the way. You can also see they're up there on my national team jersey as a sponsor. And they have just the best sneaker and basketball sneaker selection in Europe, in my personal opinion. So make sure to check them out. You can also find an affiliate link down in the description box below. Now back to the Book 1 and why I like them so much. At first I thought they were going to be way too narrow because the toe box does look a bit narrow in my opinion. But then if you go back to the midfoot, you can actually see that they're very accommodating. You can see that my feet have like worn them out a little bit here over the side already. And that's exactly why I like them. They have a very nice cushioned heel, very soft. The traction performance is 10 out of 10 in my opinion. I haven't slipped one time with them, or actually I can remember one time in, like, I've got 3 colorways, practicing with them for almost half a year now, and I can remember one time when I slipped. And the cushioning setup is very nice for me, as the heel is nice and comfy. The material is also very soft in the heel, and the forefoot is nice and low to the ground, which is important for a shooter like me. Support features are also good. I know a lot of people are concerned about that because they look to be high off the ground because of the midsole design, but actually your foot is not sitting here, it's sitting like a little bit under there, so the midsole is going high up. So I had no issues whatsoever with support, and I really enjoy playing with them. I also really like the Sunrise colorway that's coming out, and I definitely want to get a pair of those as well. As you know, I love pink sneakers and I love the Book 1, so it's going to be a perfect match for me. Next up, we got a shoe from Way of Wade. It's going to be Wade Son of Flash, also one of my favorite performers overall from Way of Wade. Also because the fit is very wide. You can see they just have a very nice and wide base. They're very comfortable. They don't have the best support compared to other sneakers from Way of Wade, but the traction performance is very good. It's made for outdoors, very durable. So if you're playing outdoors and have wide feet, I can highly recommend them. The cushioning setup is also very comfortable. You've got a Boom midsole and a Cloud Plus foam. So it's a very, very comfy ride, and the materials are also very nice and very soft. They also don't need any braking time, so I can highly recommend them as well, especially if you have wide feet. Now, moving on to the next shoes, we're gonna go through them a little bit faster as they're a little bit older already. We have the Jordan 38. Those are the pair to get if you have a wide midfoot like me, because the materials, you can see this mesh here, is almost see-through, and if you have a wide midfoot that stands out, you can see that it can press out here without the material pinching in it. So it's very, very comfortable if, as I said, you have a wide midfoot like me. Just get the lows. I just didn't want to use the lows because mine are pretty beat. I use them outdoors because on the highs, the outsole durability is just absolutely terrible. Mine ripped off after like 3 times of using them. That's why I don't use them anymore. The cushioning is top tier, very soft, very comfortable, very plush. Support is good, and the materials are also, as I said, nice and comfortable, so I can definitely recommend them. Another little bit older shoe that's got similar features in terms of cushioning, materials, and the overall comfort is the Puma MB1. I'm actually going to get a pair of the MB4 next week, and I have to say I don't like where the MB line went at all. The 1 was such a big success. I had such high hopes for the 2s, which were still decent, but really, honestly, the 3s, they were okay, but they were lacking a lot of things. And they were only good for certain types of players, essentially for big guys that need a supportive cushion shoe, which is the complete opposite of what Melo actually is as a player and what his shoe should be like for other players. And the MB4 just looks even more clunky, even heavier. So I'm not sure if Puma is really going into the right direction. Maybe they do need to switch it up with the MB5. Back to the MB1, very, very nice and wide midfoot and toe box. So extremely comfortable if you have wide feet. In combination with the soft materials. It's all textile, it's very soft on foot, and the cushioning setup is also extremely comfortable. So if you don't play on dusty courts, that's the only downside, dust pickup and performance on dusty courts. These are a top tier option if you need comfort and if you need a wide fit. And then we still have 2 other pairs right here that also have been out for a little bit longer, and 1 pair that's been out not as long, but still also not as recent, so that's why I didn't put them with the other shoes. It's the Anthony Edwards 1. Also very nice for wide feet. Just watch out that here in the toe box, this side, the outside, it goes in relatively narrowly. So if you have a pinky toe that's standing out or something, they're probably not going to be for you. But if you have a wide midfoot like me, or if your big toe is wide, then these are going to be nice, because this side, as I said, is pretty much straightforward. This side goes in a little bit, especially also because this cheese grater material here is going up over. Actually also getting another colorway of them, the Purple Burst colorway. So nice. I'm so excited to get them. Should also arrive next week. And 2 other pairs. Li-Ning JB2, very expensive, very good performer though. Good comfort, good and wide fit, and exceptional traction performance. And last but not least, probably the best shoe for wide feet I've ever tried. The Adidas Harden Volume 7, also one of my all-time favorite shoes, simply because they were so damn comfortable for my feet and performance was great. Traction performance was good, cushioning is very nice, comfortable in the heel, low to the ground in the forefoot, just how I like it, and the materials just hug around your feet. Plus, the style of the shoe, the look, absolutely amazing in my opinion, so that's why they're one of my all-time favorites and still one of my go-to shoes whenever I go hoop and practice. With that being said, that's all I have for you today. If you liked the video, subscribe to my channel, it would help me out a lot and I'd appreciate it a ton. Also leave a like and comment your thoughts on my list. Did I miss any pairs? Of course, I haven't tested every pair on the market, but I'd be interested to hear your personal thoughts and maybe your opinions on other shoes for wide feet. Have a good one and see you next time.